everyone, and welcome to the Stay-at-Home Baker. Today I'm going to be demonstrating how to make peach cobbler. And along with that, I'm going to demonstrate how to make a caramel sauce that we're going to serve with that. So this is a very, very easy recipe. It's very simple, and everyone really seems to enjoy it. So I hope you enjoy it too if you're able to make it. For this recipe, we're going to need a 9x13 baking pan. It can be glass or it can be metal. We're going to need 3 15-ounce cans of sliced peaches, either in heavy syrup or light syrup. We're going to need a box of yellow cake mix. Now, some of my friends have requested gluten-free recipes, so if you would like to make this gluten-free, then substitute a gluten-free cake mix. We're going to need a pound of butter. Some of this we're going to use for the cobbler, some we're going to use for the caramel sauce. And then to sprinkle on top, we're going to use a little bit of cinnamon. So let's get started. First of all, you will need to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. So we're going to start with putting the peaches in the pan. You're going to pour everything in, syrup as well. And then with the cake mix, I like to whisk it up a little bit just to make sure there's no clumps. So I'm going to put that in a bowl, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of a whisk. And then we're just going to pour this on top of the peaches. And we'll just spread it around a little bit so that it covers the top. Now we'll need to slice the butter. That's going to be next. So we're going to slice the butter in about 1/4 inch thickness of slices. And don't worry if your slices aren't really even. That's not going to be a problem. Then we're just going to lay them on top. Covering the whole top of the crust. So we're just going to continue to cover the whole crust. This is actually a dump cake. What a dump cake is, it's a very easy dessert. If you look on the internet, you can find many different kinds, but it basically is a dessert where you dump everything into a pan and bake it. That's why it's called a dump cake. But they're very easy. There's many different kinds. The pumpkin cobbler that I make for Norco is also a dump cake. All right, so we've got the butter all over the top. So we're just going to sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon over the whole thing. And then we're going to pop it in the oven for about 45 minutes. And we want to bake it until the top is like a deep brown color. So let's put this in the oven. So while the cobbler is baking in the oven, we're going to make the caramel sauce. So to make that, we'll need a small saucepan. We'll need 1 cup of brown sugar that's been packed down. We're going to need a 1/2 cup of heavy cream or heavy whipping cream, a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and 7 tablespoons of butter that's been sliced into pieces. So what we're going to do is we're going combine the sugar, the cream, and the butter in the saucepan. Just put those in. So let's take this over to the cooktop and we're going to heat it up. So we're going to put this on with a medium-low flame. We don't want it to be too hot. We don't want it to burn. And with a whisk, we're just going to keep stirring it until everything melts. So we're going to heat this over medium-low heat until it gets bubbly. And once it gets bubbly, then we're going to cook it for 5 minutes. And then we'll take it off the heat and add a half a teaspoon of vanilla. So our 5 minutes is up. So we're going to take this off the heat and we're going to add our vanilla. So I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of vanilla, and we're going to whisk that in. So I'm going to let this cool slightly, then I'm going to transfer it to a glass jar with a lid because this will need to be refrigerated, and it'll last in your refrigerator for about 2 weeks. So we'll let that cool down a little bit. So the cobbler is out of the oven, nicely browned, and it's ready to serve. So I'm going to take a scoop of the cobbler. This cobbler, I can get about 12 to 15 servings out of this. And if you'd like, you can add the ice cream of your choice. And then to top it off, we're going to use the caramel sauce. Now the caramel sauce will harden up when you put it in the fridge, so you'll need to soften it in the microwave. So you probably will do it in 30-second intervals, stirring it until it gets soft enough to drizzle. So I hope you enjoyed the show today. Enjoy.